Okay, this is question number 2 from the review. A large pet store buys the identical species of adult fish, and we have Buy Right Pets is one store, and we have Fish Friends. We actually have the links of all the fish from Buy Right Pets, and we also have the links from Fishy Friends. Do the data provide convincing evidence that the mean length of the adult fish of the species from Fish Friends is greater than the mean from fish from the same species from Buy Right Pets? Whenever they say convincing evidence, I'm thinking this means I need to write a null hypothesis. All right. So we need to think about how we're going to do this, and I'm going to go. All right. They said Fish Friends is greater than Buy Right. So let's go ahead and write it the way they did it. HO, first off, the null is that they're not different. So the mean of Fish Friends equals the mean of Buy Right. And I just use FF for Fish Friends and BR for Buy Right. Now they want to see from Fish Friends is greater than the mean length of fish from Buy Right. So the mean of Fish Friends, whether or not it's greater than the mean of Buy Right. So if I'm doing this, ultimately, I'm going to be looking for some sort of upper tail test, all right? And I know that because of the FF needs to be greater than Buy Right. So here we go. We're going to have to define our parameters. And our very first parameter is let M Fish Friends equal the true population mean fish length from Fish Friends. All right. Then I need to do the same thing for Buy Right. Let M mu of BR equal the true population mean fish length from Buy Right. Okay. So now that I've done that, I've already defined it. I need to do my conditions for our class. We're going to say they're met. So that's what we usually do, or that's what we're always going to do. We're going to need to write down our formula. So T equals X bar 1 minus X bar 2, and S1 squared over N1 plus S2 squared over N2. And because we went in this order, I'm going to go ahead and say this is going to be FF, and this is going to be Buy Right. We're going to go in that order. All right, so I need to make a list of the information that they gave me. So if I went, I need an X bar 1. I'm going to need an X bar 2, an S1, an S2, an N1, and an N2. And the nice thing is they actually gave me that information. Now I could input this data into the calculator and get it, but they actually gave it to me. So they told me this right here is Buy Right. So, and we should go ahead and label this so that we don't get confused. we said X2 is Byrite, so this is Byrite. And this is going to be Fish Friends. All right. So we need to make sure that we assign our data correctly. So the mean for Byrite was 3.4. And this is 3.46. Now, if you do this in the opposite order, you're going to get negative numbers, which, I mean, isn't wrong, but it can be confusing. So this is 3.4, and this is 0.434. This is 0.550. And when I count this up, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, which is what they told me right here. And up here, this has said 8, but I'm still going to check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So N2 is 8. All right, at this point, I'm going to start plugging this information into my calculator. And when I do, well, I'm going to start plugging into the formula. And remember, Fish Friends comes first. So T equals 3.46 minus 3.40 over 0.550 squared over 10 plus 0.434 squared over 8. So let's go ahead and start plugging that information in. And we're going to go stat test, and we're going to go scroll all the way down to 2 sample t-test, which is number 4. Highlight the word stats, because I use the stats. And I have 3.46. I have a standard deviation of 0.550. And my sample size is 10. For Byrite, which was the 2, 3.4. S2, 0.434. This is 8. And then I need to scroll up, and I'm going to slide this down and say, oh, this needs to be greater than, because we said Fish Friends was supposed to be greater than Byrite. So make sure that that's highlighted. And I end up getting a T equaling to 0.2586. And so we're going to say the probability that T is greater than 0.2586 gives us this p-value equals 0.3995. That's our p-value. So our p-value, our alpha, 0.3995. Our alpha, let's just say, is 0.05 because they didn't give it to us. Well, this is greater, and anytime our p-value is greater, we fail to reject the null. So our decision is we fail to reject the null. So now we need to write our conclusion. So our conclusion, our p-value is 0.3995. We fail to reject the null. There is not sufficient evidence at alpha equal 0.05 to say that the mean population length of fish from Fishy Friends is greater than that from Buy Right Pets, or from Buy Right. Okay. Now the big thing here is greater than. Where did that come from? Mean Fish Friends greater than Buy Right. So that the mean population length of fish from Fishy Friends is greater than that from Buy Right Pets. All right. So that takes care of the first part, part A, and what type of error may have been committed. We failed to reject the null. The only type of error would be a type 2. Because remember, type 2, fail to. Right? So since we failed to reject, the only type of error that we could have made is a type 2 error. All right. Thank you for watching this one.